Police officials are supposed to save us from the danger. But that wasn't the case for Sarah Everard. She was kidnapped, brutally raped, and killed by a police officer. Let's take a closer look at her story. First, let me give you a background of the story. Sarah was born in Surrey and studied human geography before she started working as a marketing executive. In just a short 50-minute journey from her friend's house in Clapham to her home in Brixton, Sarah Everard's life took a harrowing turn. She started her walk around 9 p.m., even sharing a conversation with her boyfriend until 9:28 p.m. But her last known location was captured by a doorbell camera on Ponders Road near Clapham Common, walking towards Tulsey Hill. From that point, Sarah seemed to vanish into thin air. Worry began to creep in the next morning when her friends noticed her absence. Sarah hadn't sent a reassuring text about arriving home safely, missed a scheduled client meeting, and her boyfriend's messages went unanswered. He decided to check on her at her flat, but there was no response. Fearing the worst, he turned to the police. As the news spread on social media and friends flooded Clapham with posters, the police launched a widespread search effort. Search and rescue teams combed nearby ponds. Specialist officers scoured Clapham Common, Agnes Riley Gardens, and the Ponders Gardens estate. A total of 750 homes were visited, and they received a staggering 100 calls from concerned citizens. The response from the public was massive, yet the mystery of Sarah's whereabouts remained unsolved. In the midst of it all, Sarah's family grappled with unimaginable distress. Now let's talk about the killer and how he planned the murder. Wayne Couzens was a police constable and firearms officer when this incident happened. On that fateful day, February 28, 2021, Wayne Couzens took a chilling step by booking a white Vauxhall car from a rental company in Dover. Fast forward to March 3rd. He wrapped up a 12-hour shift at the U.S. Embassy in London at 7 o'clock GMT, before making his way to Kent to pick up the rental car. His journey then led him back to London, with stops at Earl's Court and on Battersea Bridge. He made an intriguing detour to Earl's Court again before returning to Clapham at 21:23. Around 9 o'clock p.m., Sarah Everard left her friend's place on Leithwaite Road, not far from Clapham Junction, to head home on Brixton Hill. At 21:34, Couzens parked his Vauxhall on the pavement outside Ponders Court and intercepted Sarah Everard. He flashed his police warrant card and handcuffed her, later claiming she violated COVID guidelines. Bus CCTV twice captured their encounter, first at 21:35, standing by the rented Vauxhall, and again at 21:38, revealing the Vauxhall's number plate. They entered the car, and Couzens drove them towards Kent. As a later investigation confirmed, by 23:43 they had reached Dover, transferring to Couzens' personal seat car. Between 23:53 and 0:57 on March 4th, Couzens' phone signaled cell sites near Sibbertswold, believed to be the time of the rape. At 2:34, Couzens bought drinks at a Dover petrol station, likely after strangling Everard with his police duty belt. He then headed to the Hodes Wood, near Ashford, as seen on CCTV from 3:22 to 6:32, before returning to Dover to switch back to the rental car, which he returned at 8:26. Afterward, he drove his personal car to Sandwich, Kent, disposing of Everard's mobile phone in a watercourse at 9:21. In the days following the murder, Couzens informed senior colleagues of his stress and expressed a desire to no longer carry a firearm. On March 5th, just after 11 o'clock, he purchased and filled a petrol container at a Whitfield service station. He then drove to Hodes Wood, where CCTV captured his car at 12:37. There, he burned Sarah Everard's body inside a refrigerator. At 13:47, he acquired 2 large builder's bags from B&Q, before returning to Hodes Wood on March 7th. He used one of the bags to dispose of Everard's remains in a pond. On March 8th, he reported himself as ill, surrendering his equipment, including his police belt and handcuffs. Police found human remains, and the investigation began. On March 10th, human remains were discovered in a large builder's bag in Hodes Wood, located around 100 meters from a plot of land owned by Wayne Couzens. The police in Dover also searched the area of a former body repair garage, previously connected to Couzens' family, at the top of the White Cliffs. By March 12th, Sarah Everard's body was positively identified through dental records. 2 days later, a significant search operation was centered around the Rope Walk in Sandwich. with approximately 1 square mile of the town cordoned off. On March 16th, the search for evidence continued in Kent Woodlands. The police divers in Sandwich searched underwater for Everard's mobile phone. Her funeral was held on May 22nd at Heslington Church in Heslington, near York. A post-mortem examination held at William Harvey Hospital in Ashford revealed that she had died from neck compression, concluding the cause of her death on June 1st. Guilty plea. On March 9, 2021, Wayne Couzens was arrested in his home in Deal on suspicion of kidnapping. When questioned, he initially professed not to recognize Sarah Everard when shown a photograph of her. However, he later revealed financial woes stemming from an encounter in Folkestone. He alleged that he had been threatened by a gang of Eastern Europeans who had previously demanded that he deliver another girl after a prior dispute with a prostitute. March 10th marked the fateful day when Everard's remains were discovered, and Couzens was rearrested on suspicion of murder. He found himself charged with both kidnapping and murder on March 12th, following authorization from the Crown Prosecution Service. Subsequently, Couzens appeared before Westminster Magistrates Court on March 13th, and was remanded in custody. On June 8, 2021, Couzens pleaded guilty to the charges of kidnapping and rape, while admitting responsibility for the death of Sarah Everard. On July 9th, during a video-linked appearance from Belmarsh Prison, he entered a guilty plea for the charge of murder. The disturbing fact that he and the victim were complete strangers, with no prior connection, was underscored. The sentencing hearing, presided over by Lord Justice Fulford, commenced at the Old Bailey on September 29, 2021, following a thorough review of medical and psychiatric reports. On September 30th, the final verdict was delivered. Couzens was sentenced to life imprisonment with a whole life order. Lord Justice Fulford emphasized that Couzens' exploitation of his position as a police officer to detain Everard was the vital factor that made the severity of the case exceptionally high. In an unsettling twist, news in April 2023 brought attention to Couzens' potential entitlement to a police pension amounting to £7,000 annually. Mayor of London Sadiq Khan, who had previously succeeded in having Couzens stripped of his Metropolitan Police pension, revealed the possibility that he might still be eligible for pensions from his pre-med service. Sarah's sister, Katie, addressed the murderer and said, "How dare you take her from me? Take away her hopes and dreams, her life, children that will never be born, generations that will never exist. Her future no longer exists. The future I was supposed to live with my sister no longer exists." In the end, I would say that the Sarah Everard case revealed the darkest aspects of our society. Her story is a grim reminder of the violence women can face, and it has ignited a critical conversation about safety and the need for change. As we conclude this video, let us remember Sarah and her family, while pledging to work towards a world where such tragedies are never repeated. Until next time, take care and stay tuned.